Today we're talking paid traffic and how it can help you take your music career to the next level. Stay tuned.
You are now listening to the Music Business Streams podcast, brought to you by KDMR Music.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Music Business Dreams podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Jackson, and this is episode 11. Now, today we're talking all about the power of paid traffic and how you can use things like Facebook and Instagram or even YouTube ads to reach an audience that's relevant to you and who's willing to listen to your music and pay you for your merchandise. So, before we get into that conversation with Jens the Guru, just want to say thank you guys, everyone who listened to episode 10 with Lennon Seahack last week. Now, if you missed it, Lennon talked about getting press for your music, how to reach out to writers and other music journalists, and how to get your music placed on blogs and other websites to help find a new audience. So if you missed that, you should definitely go back and listen to it. And before we get into the episode, I want to shout out everyone who is in the Indie Club. Shout out to Dave Pendergrass. Shout out to Al, who just joined last week. We're building a community of artists and managers and other music industry professionals so that we can all support each other and lean on each other when we have questions. And so I'm thankful for you guys for joining. I'm so glad to be able to be a part of your journey and to answer your questions. Now, if you guys are not in the Indie Club, I'm going to leave the link in the show notes. It's kdmr.us/Indie Club. You should definitely join today. It's free. You'll just send your request. You do have to answer a couple of questions so that we know more about you and why you feel you need to be in the group. But as long as you have a good reason and you're actually doing music and we can check you out, we'll accept every request. So I'm excited to have you. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the interview with today's guest, Jens the Guru. All right, guys, so our next guest on the Music Business Dreams podcast is Jens the Guru. Now, he's an artist manager and consultant. He's an expert on paid traffic and the creator of the Viral Tribe formula. So I'm excited about this conversation. You guys are going to learn a lot. Welcome to the podcast, Jens the Guru. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Staying busy as usual,
I feel you.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't really know much about you, why don't you give us a brief overview of what you do and who you are?
Pretty much, I'm the owner of a marketing agency, and what we do is we run paid advertising for artists, all types of artists, pretty much major label, up and coming. Pretty much the issue that people have is that they release products. I mean, they release content, music videos, songs, things of that nature, and then after they're done with all that, they have a hard time getting it in front of the right people. Getting in front of a relevant audience to view that content. So that's where I come in and I leverage, paid advertising platforms such as Google, Facebook, Instagram. And, the reason why I leverage paid advertising is because, you can have a predictable outcome. You know what I mean? While if you're building your business on things like favors and people looking out for you, people putting you on, you can't really guarantee what kind of numbers you hit or what kind of, what your end result is. But paid advertising allows you to do just that. You put it in front of an audience, and then from there, they'll let you know how they feel about your content. And through that, I've been able to, put a lot of artists in front of them, a lot of people, and build careers,
Got you. So how'd you get started in the business?
I was actually, I've been in the business for a while, and I got started basically interning at some of the major studios in New York for the most part. I never even cared for being an engineer or somebody who mixed whatever, but that's what I was around, and my idea was that, okay, I just need to get around people who are working in the business and, put myself in a situation where I could meet people who work on all facets of the business, whatever. And, before that, I was actually interning at a label, Sony Records, under somebody who was pretty major at the time, too. They probably, and that was just boring to me, like sitting at a desk and stuff like that. A studio allowed me to, really be out and about and just meeting people, really hitting the pavement, whatever. So I was doing that for a while. I ended up actually kind of like running the studios, because at the basically during the day the owner, the managers, whatever, they would leave, so I would have the night shift and all that, whatever. So I was able to like meet a lot of people through there. But then one time I came across like online marketing for the most part. Like I used to see certain artists when they were promoting their projects, they would have banners on certain sites, and I always thought that was an interesting thing to do. And I saw the power in it. So pretty much, so when I discovered the whole using the internet, whatever, to get a ton of people, I actually literally saw an ad online about getting hundreds of thousands of people to like a single web page, and I was like, oh, that would be an interesting skill to learn. And then I just basically learned those principles, for marketing, like products and online things, whatever, and I just switched it over to music. You know what I mean? I happen to luck up because social media became a thing and the ad platforms became popular. You know what I mean? So.
Got you. So you were interning at studios and kind of came across online marketing just kind of on a whim, but just kind of dove into it before anyone else did, and you've been able to build a career out of it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I just more so like connected it to what the hell I was interested in. You know what I'm saying? Because the same principles I'm using to market music, I've used it to like market other things, like other types of products and info products, or whoever is selling like t-shirts, or selling like drop shipping shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's the same marketing principles in general. Get a product that's reliable. You know what I'm saying? Put it in front of a relevant audience. You do it enough. You see what campaigns are not working, what are failing, and then you scale up all the winners. So
Right, definitely. So let's talk about just kind of on a foundational level, because this podcast is geared toward up and coming musicians, people who may just be in their bedroom, just kind of getting their first tracks together. Could you explain to someone like that why it's important to use online marketing to build an audience as opposed to going out beating the pavement?
Well, you can reach more people. I always like have this little debate with people online, and people are beating me up about it. Like when I say like handing out CDs on the streets is like irrelevant, like, you know what I mean? Compared to just marketing your thing online, you could reach more people, like prime example, like you press up a CD. I don't even know how much it costs to press up a CD nowadays, whatever, but let's just say you go out with like, even if you could find a way to go out with 1,000 CDs, right? You know what I'm saying? Even if there's 1,000 people around you, you're never going to be able to hand out 1,000 CDs because it's one you. You know what I mean? You're limited by your physical self, whatever. While something online, you could basically scale that infinitely. You know what I mean? As long as you have the budget, you can it can never be too many people. You know what I'm saying? You could reach more people online. And more than that, let's just say you're on the corner handing out a bunch of CDs, whatever. Everybody that's walking past you might not necessarily be into hip hop music. They might be into this genre, that genre. So it's going to be a rare situation where everybody who's walking past you are your demographic. You know what I mean? So paid advertising allows you to put your content in front of people who are most likely to be interested in your content because they've shown interest in this in the past. You know what I mean? So that's why it makes more sense. And as an up and coming artist, there's going to be a lot of big platforms that you guys like. I see indie artists chasing like certain placements in certain sites and stuff like that. Like independent artists will want to release their song and get a premiere from Complex, whatever, and it's like, what does that mean if it happens one time? It means absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? So paid advertising allows you to put your content in front of new people every single day, because I always talk about consistency, creating content consistently and, marketing it consistently. That's what paid advertising allows you to do. And hey, when you're up and coming, Complex might look at your songs and say, get the fuck out of here, you're nobody, but they've already done the work for you because they've already built a highly engaged audience on these platforms in most cases, you know what I mean? And when you run your ads, your advertising, you can target that audience. So, hey, the reason why you want to be on a Complex or whatever site, whatever, is because you know that they have the audience that you need to take you to the next level. Well, if you paid advertising, you could tap into that same audience without them giving you their cosign, so.
Right. So can you talk about some of the successes that you've been able to help artists reach with paid advertising?
Yeah, I definitely have. I've had through the work I've done, I've gotten like clients, record deals, they got offered like huge deals. I done had situations where like, clients have built their subscriber base to the point where they're getting plaques from like, YouTube and things like that, whatever. I've gotten clients notable enough to the point where they get verified by Instagram, things like that, you know what I'm saying? So I basically just create a situation where people can become like, household names and things like that, whatever. And pretty much that's available to anybody if they're willing to, create content consistently and really work it and go about this as if nobody's ever going to pick them up. No label's ever going to show interest in them. It's up to them to, just market their product, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yeah. So
for artists who want to tap into that user base and that fan base that's out there waiting, how would they get started?
Well, first, get started by creating content, you know what I mean? And good content at that, The thing is this, you can release, there's a lot of, it's easier nowadays. Like, back in the days, like, let's say back in the days, I only mean like probably 6 to 8 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, it hasn't been that long, whatever, but it used to be a little bit more like, to get into the studio or get production and stuff like that, whatever. So imagine people who were like in the early 90s where like studio equipment cost a lot. It was like a hidden thing to get into the studio. Now anybody could download a program, whatever, you know what I'm saying, create some music, whatever. And that's good, but it's also bad because there's a lot of low quality shit out there, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
So as an artist coming up, you want to just start by making your stuff like, high quality across the board, you know what I mean? And lots of times you're going to have to pay for that kind of quality, you know what I mean? I know people are always looking for the whole, oh, I'm nice, somebody's going to put me on and look out for me and give me an opportunity to invest in. Like, no, you guys are looking at, like, start investing in yourself, put some money to the side and make sure you pay for, like, a dope videographer, pay for some dope production and, make sure everything you do looks real good. It starts with the content, you know what I mean? And then from there, once you have the content, you sit back and say, okay, how am I going to get this out to the people and seek out professionals or try to learn how to put these things together yourself, whatever. You know what I mean? It's nothing to, throw a few dollars on a post. I see people on Instagram or whatever, they're always in the comment section begging for people to check their music out, writing sob stories like, oh, nobody might pay attention to this, but I'm an up and coming artist, blah, blah, let's, no, fuck all that. You know what I mean? Take a few dollars, $5 a day. You can start as simple as that. $5 a day. Press the promote button. Even though I say don't do it, because from an advanced market or whatever, you know what I mean? I know that there's better ways to get lower costs, whatever. But if you're just getting started, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do it just to get more traction. So you don't got to be in the comment section looking crazy. You don't got to be begging. You know what I mean? Once the quality is high content, whatever, you press the promote button, just get in front of more people, and you just do that consistently. Find a way to do that every single day, and you're going to be okay.
Okay. So for someone who's just getting started with this advertising, how much of a budget would you say they would need to set aside?
It's funny. I tell people all the time, like I've said it in a few videos, whatever. You know what I mean? People feel like, oh, I gotta wait till I have $3,000 saved up, then I'm gonna get started, whatever. But you could literally get started for $1 a day. You know what I mean? If you spent $1 a day on paid advertising every day for a year, you'd be further off than you are by doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you can start as low as $1 a day. You don't have to start colossal. You don't have to start huge. You know what I mean? Like I got clients that do thousands of dollars a day, whatever. But you can also get something going with $1 a day. You know what I mean? Because the way, especially on a platform like Facebook, where if the content is good and people are really engaging with it, they drop your cost per view and expand your reach. You know what I mean? I got a campaign right now. I'm spending $1 a day, and we're doing like 6,000, 7,000 highly targeted views because the content is hyper relevant. People are really engaging with it. So you never know. You might get something that can get you 1 million views a day. Like, I mean, a million views over the span of like a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something,
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so what about people who may criticize and say, okay, well, let's say you got all those views, right? What is the difference between that and like buying views through some weird service?
Yeah, well, buying views, the difference is when I say views, we're not really looking at views. Like we're not really. I don't care for views. What I care more so is that real people are seeing it, engaging with the content. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you're buying views, whatever, from like third-party platforms and it's bots and click farms and stuff like that, whatever, no one's actually coming across your music. No one's seeing your music. And that's the name of the game, right? For people to see your music and know that you exist, right? So with the paid advertising platforms, you're putting it in front of real people and giving them a choice to digest the content and say what the hell they feel about it. The other thing is about just, you know what I'm saying, I guess making yourself feel good, but it's not anything real. You're lying to yourself at the end of the day. No one's listening to your music. You're not getting any feedback. You're not getting any growth. Nobody is seeing it to possibly want to give you an opportunity. So who are you fooling besides yourself? You know what I mean? So
right.
Yeah, so that's really it. You know what I mean? If I was you as an up and coming artist, just know that it's better for 100 real people to see your content and give their opinion on it than, you know what I'm saying, 354 million robots. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, robots don't listen to music.
Exactly. Not yet. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because I know you run ads on Facebook, you run them on Google, YouTube, and all that, right? So, a lot of times I tell artists to just start on Facebook. Where would you recommend an artist to start with paid traffic?
I'm always gonna recommend Facebook and Facebook definitely. Facebook definitely. You definitely got to start there, whatever, because how can I say? It's just a more viral platform, and you get more engagement. You know what I mean? Like even when you're running ads on YouTube, paid advertising, it's just not a platform that's really built. Like people see it, but it's not really built for heavy engagement and really for it to stick for the most part. You know what I mean? Because aside from running paid advertising, you gotta obviously drop content consistently. But mainly, in lots of cases, the people who are seeing the ads, they're not even logged. They're not logged. Like when I watch YouTube, lots of times I'm not logged in. You know what I mean? So even if I feel something or whatever, you know what I mean, I'm not gonna write a comment. I don't even, man. If I write when I'm on YouTube, I'll probably write a comment like 3 or 4 times out of the whole year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wow. If I'm on a Facebook product such as Facebook or Instagram, whatever, I might do that a few times out the day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm definitely liking something every few hours. Every hour or so I might be liking something or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm talking, or I'm tagging a friend on something, or I'm sending somebody something in the DMs, whatever. You know what I mean? They're just a heavily viral platform. And on top of that, even though YouTube has gotten better with this, but like I said before, Facebook, the algorithm is if people like the content, they drop the cost per view and expand your reach. So that means that they're putting it in front of more people because people are on the platform longer and they're showing that they like this content. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Google has gotten better with it. They're kind of doing the same thing too now, whatever. But like I said, it's just a more viral platform because everybody's there. You know what I'm saying? They're on those platforms like a lot of the times throughout the day. So that's the best platform to start with, whatever. And then next would obviously be Instagram. You know what I mean? Even though I do pretty much, for myself, I do all my advertising on Instagram, whatever. But Facebook allows you to create a big audience real quick, and then once you connect them to an Instagram campaign, you know what I'm saying, then your cost with running ads on the Instagram side becomes cheaper. I've already been past that part, whatever, so now I could build, like I'm saying, mostly on the Instagram side, whatever. But definitely Facebook, I should start there. You know what I mean? If your goal is to get your content seen by a lot of people, you know what I mean, a whole lot of people consistently and like accurately, that's the platform to build on. You know what I'm saying? People be talking stupidness like, oh yeah, what's name is dead or Facebook is dead. It's like you guys can be far from the truth, man. You know?
Right. Yeah, I mean people sleep on Facebook, but Facebook is like by far the biggest social media platform there is, and then they own the second biggest one.
Exactly right, and it's like they're and I know why a lot of people think about YouTube. They think about the monetization aspect. Oh yeah, we get money per views, blah blah, this and that. You know what I'm saying? But first of all, Facebook monetization is coming. They're already doing it. They're already doing it. Being honest, I got clients who've shown me like, money they're getting per million views and things like that, whatever. Even now, they just sent me a request the other day. I'm not a gamer, so I can't take advantage of it, but something about joining a gaming program, whatever, and you get paid for streams that way. You know what I'm saying? For every time my views also. So, you know what I mean? That's why I've been telling people for a long while, this is a platform to build on, because when it really, really takes off, will you have wanted to be like one of the people that already built, or will you be like one of the people trying to catch up? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. One thing that artists should remember, I guess, from a business standpoint, Facebook is the one social media platform that has shown a profit, consistently over time. So they've already figured out how to get money for their service. And now they're starting the Facebook Watch program. And, I don't know if people have noticed, but you're starting to see ads between the videos that you watch.
That's what that's why that's what I was telling. I had a video where I said I was predicting what I saw, what I thought about IGTV, and to me, IGTV I feel is the last test before they launch monetization as a whole, because Facebook, like you mentioned, how you see the little ads in between videos, whatever. That's what they use to pay out the people who are already in the beta program for monetization. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, right. It already exists. You know what I'm saying? And with YouTube being super harsh on like creators and making all these rules that take money out their pocket, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's only a matter of time before they're out the box, So
Yeah, definitely. Because like I said, right now, Facebook, or like you touched on, Facebook is built for sharing. So, if I'm watching YouTube, I'm probably watching on my Roku. I literally can't comment on a YouTube video watching it on my TV.
Exactly, yeah, because that's the thing, bro. Like, you're so right about it, because I'm on YouTube a lot too, you know what I'm saying? But I would just never, because there's certain programs I like, certain people that I'm fans of, whatever. But I would never ever log in and write anything, you know what I'm saying? So imagine how many people there are for that, whatever. Especially when you're running paid advertising. In most cases, people aren't even signed in or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So,
But yeah, to use Facebook, you've got to sign in.
Yeah, you have to, exactly right.
They make it easy for you to thumbs up something, and just because I get notifications that someone liked something, whether I like it or not, right? So it's like, if someone sees your music on Facebook, they see your video, especially if it's a good video, right? And you're just targeting them on an ad, they share it. It looks just like any other normal post. But now the people who are seeing it are people who are more likely to like it because their friend likes it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a more native. It looks like damn near native ad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, I guess, like the baby steps to getting started with the paid traffic, because I think a lot of times what you'll see online is like, oh, well, I turned $1,000 into 1 million views and now I'm famous or whatever, right? But most people at home are like, look, I don't have $1,000, right? And if I had $1,000, I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Right. Yeah. Those are people just selling products for the most part, because it's like they make, with the whole online marketing thing, it's about making things look easier than it is. So if somebody tells you, like I've seen ads that are super like untransparent, like, oh yeah, okay, I made $300,000 or $30,000 my first 30 days releasing such and such course. Yeah, but you didn't mention the people that you spent like the last 3 years, building up a solid fan base, whatever. You know what I mean? You didn't mention that you're spending thousands of dollars on paid advertising every month. You already have you already have certain things in place where you got your list, you got this and that, whatever, set aside. You know what I mean? But for anyone running paid advertising, whatever, you know what I mean? The easiest way you could start with whatever is, like I told you earlier, start with $1 a day. You know what I mean? No, but being real, let's not say $1 a day, because that's very, very minimal, whatever. I tell people all the time, start with at least $300. That's $10 a day. Start there, whatever, and then see what happens for yourself after 30 days. If you like it, keep going. If not, then cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Or at least take the data and digest it, whatever. I mainly tell, especially to videographers, you know what I'm saying, or people who have something to sell, like as far as on the service side, whatever. You know what I mean? Spend some money to put your content out there, at least $10 a day, whatever, and see what happens at the end of 30 days. Have you made more money? Have you got more clientele? Have you got more business? If so, then keep doing it. You know what I mean? Now, the thing with indie artists, where they suffer from is because they don't have the entrepreneur mindset. They're never selling nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're just here to get their shit heard and maybe get discovered. But I always tell people, find a way to sell something so that your paid advertising can make sense. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? You gotta know what your objective is. If your objective is to get picked up by somebody, where then you know, okay, well, hey, I'm about to get ready to spend $300 a month on ads for at least 12 months and not get anything back in return. I'm just trying to get somebody to see me, whatever. You know that, whatever. But the smartest way that would be to have something to sell, because you can make the paid advertising make sense. You know what I mean? So
Right. Yeah, and I talk about this in my book. I wrote a book on music marketing last year. And, I tell artists that, what you got to do, or every activity that you're taking in your music career, whether you're going and doing an interview somewhere, whether you're putting out music, you're either trying to build a fan base,
right.
or you're trying to make money, or ideally, you're doing both at the same time.
Yeah, right.
Right. And that definitely translates to the paid traffic, because on Facebook, you can very clearly set your objective. You can say, okay, I want this to be an engagement campaign. I want this to be a conversion campaign where, people look at the video and then click through to a specific web page. Or you can even convert for sales if you have something like an online merch shop set up. So let's say you've got a t-shirt, with your face on it or whatever, and you want people to buy that. You can tell Facebook, I want to convert for sales, right? And then you throw the money at it, see what sticks, and you can, after a little while, judge your results.
Right.
But it's like you said, it's definitely not smart if, you feel like you're on a budget and, okay, I need to make such and such amount of money this month, and you're throwing traffic at this video. There's no clear call to action. There's no objective in the video other than, oh, this is just a fun song, and now my video's got 10 million views.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you gotta learn how to monetize and make money. You know what I'm saying? People always ask me, how do I make money with my career, whatever, as being an indie artist? Easy, sell something, have something to sell. You know what I mean? And you will make money. You know what I mean?
Right. So what types of things have you seen artists selling that work for them? Because it seems like CDs kind of go out the window now.
I'll say this, yo. Merchandise is a good place to start, because guess what? And, I actually got this from Young Jeezy back in the day. I remember when, 2000s, whatever, he had them snowman T-shirts, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And before I even knew what the fuck the music was, I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this snowman? That snowman's kind of hot, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So then I discovered him later on. So the damn near the snowman was like a bat signal. You know what I'm saying? So It's like I already knew, seeing his influence in the world, whatever. It just looked cool. So everybody in the streets was wearing this shit, whatever. And then boom, out of nowhere, I get introduced to Jeezy. Like, this nigga's hot as fuck. This music is crazy. So as an independent artist, you can release merch that it doesn't have to be, you know what I'm saying, your CD cover or the cover of your album on your T-shirt. No, create some fly shit that's like a, you know what I'm saying, a representation of you, whatever, and sell that. Make it look so hot that people have to buy it. So now you got something fun in your situation, and then you can connect with the music later. I tell people all the time, you know what I'm saying, create something that's like, that people will buy even if they're not in the music, whatever, and then get money like that. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that you could sell, whatever. I know people who are producers also, whatever, aside from the music. You could sell production. You know what I'm saying? What else? I know when we're running paid advertising, though, lots of times, man, people are getting, hit up for features and paid shows and all that stuff, too. People are always asking, how do I get paid shows, whatever. If you're running paid advertising, you're building momentum. Guess what? People are going to reach out to you for the shows. They're going to reach out to you to pay you. They're going to see you moving, so they're going to want to pay you to get on songs with you. I've always seen that. You know what I'm saying? So these are certain ways that people can monetize, man. It's mad different things you could do, you know?
Right. And that's a good point. That's a concept we call social proof, right? Where if somebody sees that someone else is into something, whether it's the snowman shirt, right? Because I remember when I was in high school and Jeezy came out, everybody had a snowman shirt. I wanted a snowman shirt just because everybody else had one, not because I was a big dope dealer or a Jeezy fan.
Right, yeah. Right.
And so when people are looking and seeing your video on Facebook and your video's got 100,000 views, they're going to watch, or some people are going to watch just because it's got a lot of views, because they don't want to miss out.
Yep.
Right? And that's why you start to see those other opportunities pop up, because I guarantee you there are A&Rs, there are gatekeepers, there are important people who are just on their phones seeing stuff going on, and they're looking like, oh,
That's why
this
people,
artist has 100,000 views.
yo,
Let me figure out what's going on.
you know what's so funny though? I made a video about that one day too. I was saying like, yo, people who are working inside the buildings, they don't have a different internet than you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like when you're running these. How can I get my music in front of like music industry professionals? Easy, run campaigns, market your music. They'll see it, yeah. Because they don't have a different internet where they don't see the ads. Yeah? You know what I mean? Whenever I go into the building, they're familiar with my work. They've seen the campaigns. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? Right. They see it. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Because if you're hitting a relevant audience, guess what? They're going to be a relevant audience, too. They're checking out the music also, bro. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, there are things that go viral, right? Everybody's saying moo last week. And so, that happens, right? But there's also a way to be strategic about your career and about who you put your music in front of.
And you know what's funny, though? Sorry to cut you off. I don't want to forget this point about the viral thing, whatever. It's like people will argue with me, whatever, when I say, oh, yeah, you can't, viral is manufactured, whatever. Yeah, there's certain things on the internet that just happen to go viral without no ad dollars put behind it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right. Something like Moo, I don't believe that. I think that viral was created. You know what I'm saying? But do you want to base your career on lightning striking somewhere? Like, is that what you want to base it on? Like, you know what I mean? Or do you want to do something strategic, whatever, that you can get it with the hopes that, like, okay, if it goes viral, cool, whatever. But let's just imagine that it's never going to go viral, whatever. So let's create a strategic plan to get as many people to see this product as possible. You know what I'm saying? So right.
And I think people are kind of afraid of that whole word strategy, right? Because it makes it sound like, oh, we built this artist in a lab, right? But having a strategy simply means that you know what's happening next.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right.
So let's say, hey, if I'm Doja Cat, because she said in interviews, I wanted to have a song that went viral, and so I was thinking about what I could do that would go viral, right? Now, hopefully she was thinking about what was going on, what would happen after that, right? Like, okay, this song's going to go viral, and I've got an album that's going to follow it, and people are going to listen because that song's on it, or whatever, whatever the goal is. But there's nothing wrong with being strategic because this is a business. There's no business that you've ever been a part of. Even if you walked into a corner store, they had a strategy to get you in there. They knew where to put the bonbons and the potato chips and stuff so that you would see them, right? There's nothing in this world that just happens. Yeah. Everything is planned.
Exactly. And what they don't understand is this, like, in the arts, you have access to the same thing. Like, it's different now. Because back in the day, like, so the online marketing and all that shit, whatever, yo, if they had it their way, that's something that would have been exclusive to just them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But now it's open to the public. So you have same access to the same things that the major labels are using. You know what I'm saying? Because they're using me. They're using me. You know what I mean? I'm coming in, I'm telling them what we got to do, whatever, and they're running it up with me. You know what I'm saying? This is the same thing that you guys have access to also. You know what I mean? It's never been like that before, where you can easily tap in to the same marketing tools that they're using also. You know what I'm saying? So take advantage of it. That's all I say,
Definitely. So if an artist wants to work with you, how do they go about that?
If you go to most likely got to email me. You know what I'm saying? That's Jens at Jens the Guru, JENS at JENSTHEGURU.com. Visit my Instagram also. That's Jens the Guru. You can DM me, email me from there. And that'd be probably the best way. I have a link, whatever, in the bio. You could fill out an application if you want to, you know what I mean? Let me know a little bit more about your business. Or you could DM me or email me. It's going to be the best way, being honest. And I just gave you my email because I answer all my emails. DMs, I stay like, man, I quit. So you guys gotta understand, I'm running a lot of paid traffic on myself too. You know what I mean? So my DMs get flooded all the time, yo. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, or anyone out there, who has services, whether you're a videographer, you're a publicist, whatever, you guys should be running paid advertising too. You know what I mean? 1 year I made close to like 100,000, you know what I'm saying? And that was just through referrals and just, people in the business knowing what I did, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then the following year, after I started going aggressive with my paid advertising, I made what I made the year before in the first 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So that's for everybody out there. You know what I mean? Use paid advertising, create content consistently, and put it out there in front of people and let them consume it, whatever. You know what I mean? And watch everything that you're doing grow. You know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You guys should definitely follow Jens on Instagram. I think that's how I found out who he was. But I mean, ever since Instagram launched this Ask a Question feature, you've just been all over the
Oh
Instagram story.
yeah. You know why, yo? Cause that's another thing too. People always asking how do you get traction on Instagram, whatever. And the thing is this, you guys gotta use the platform. Actually, you know what I'm saying? Like people, independent artists, the only time they want to show their faces is when they got something to sell, like their new single coming out, whatever. It's like you done ignored everybody the whole year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now you release this fucking song of yours and this video of yours, and now you expect everybody to show you love, and then when you don't get it, you want to complain. But you haven't been a part of the community. You know what I'm saying? You're not creating content consistently. You're not engaging with people. You know what I'm saying? So that, yeah, you got to use the tools, and once you start using the tools, Instagram starts favoring your accounts, whatever. So people say that, they have situations where their accounts ain't reaching a lot of people, whatever. So aside from using paid advertising, use things like the Instagram, the questions, whatever. Use things like that. Use the stories, whatever, because that shows engagement on your account, and then when you show engagement on your account, they open up your reach a little bit more. So when you put your regular post out there, you'll start seeing that you're tapping to more people that are actually following you. You know what I mean? That's a little tip right there. You know?
Right. Got you.
Okay.
Well, look, man, I definitely appreciate you taking the time to speak with us, to speak with the audience. I think paid traffic is just, it's been the great equalizer, right? We talk about how the internet has leveled the playing field.
Yeah.
But, I guess on the flip side, one could argue, well, paid traffic only works if you have the money to pay. But paid traffic makes it where you can generate that revenue as well if you're thinking about it strategically.
Right. Yeah, that's why I totally believe that paid advertising has leveled the playing field for the most part. You know what I mean? And people sometimes they tell me whatever. Yeah, well, all these people running ads is the problem, whatever, because everybody can do it now, whatever. I don't think that's an issue. I feel like if every artist in America, you know what I mean, was running paid advertising to their content, it would level the playing field even more. Because now, guess what? Everybody has the same marketing capabilities. Now it comes down to talent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What do you guys do content-wise? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's not like everyone's reaching out to the same people, right? Because everybody doesn't sound the same. Because you can set up your ad to target people who like music similar to yours. So if you sound like Eminem, you can be like, hey, let's target Eminem fans. Everybody in the world is not an Eminem fan.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm not.
Right. Well, look, man, thank you so much for doing this interview. I'll go ahead and wrap it up. And let's see. Let's just shout out your Instagram and everything one more time.
Oh, my Instagram is Jens the Guru, JENSTHEGURU. And for you guys out there, I didn't call myself the Guru. The street called me the Guru, so I took the Instagram name. You know what I mean? I'm not this pompous dude, whatever. People started calling me Jens the Guru, so I took it and I started going. My man gave me that name, actually, and that became my IG handle. You know what I'm saying? So
Got you.
I'm not full of myself. You know what I mean? Very humble dude, whatever. JENSTHEGURU. That's the Instagram name. And if you want to email me, JENS@jenstheguru.com. All right?
All right. Great, man. Well, thanks again for doing the show.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate the call.
What? You are still listening? Well, if you made it here, you made it to the end of the episode, and I'm excited for you for all the information that you just learned so that you can take your career to the next level. Now, I know Facebook ads can seem overwhelming. It can seem like it's an endless money pit. I'm going to help you with that. So we've got some resources coming up in the next few weeks to deal with that learning curve and to help you see real progress with the ads and the spending that you're doing. Don't just go out and spend money when you don't have an objective. But I hope now you understand just how powerful these ad platforms are and what they can do for you. So until next week, I just want to say thank you for listening again, and stay connected with us. If you listen this far, then you're definitely a fan of the show. And you should stay connected with us on all social media at KDMR Music. We just ramped up our weekly videos once again, so follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/KDMR Music, and I'll see you on another episode next week. Peace.